Someone is inquiring approximately you and my expensive toddler. If you trust in angels, start this video and watch it absolutely. Angel is speak now, and when his voice descends, the whole lot hidden begins to upward push. While he speaks, time bends, secrets tremble, and darkness flees. His message isn't coming to entertain you or comfort you with indistinct thought. This message isn't always casual. This isn't for scrolling past. This message turned into summoned by the angels to attain you at the precise moment your soul ought to no longer carry the weight of silence. Because what you don't see is extra risky than what you do. And heaven will no longer can help you be blindsided via what is transferring within the shadows. A person is inquiring approximately you and you don't know they plan to shake your existence in a way you aren't ready for. Their voice is already whispering your name at the back of closed doors. Their curiosity approximately you is not harmless. They're amassing facts, no longer for admiration, now not for support, however for something else. Something greater calculated, something extra religious than you consider. Someone who has no commercial enterprise asking about you is asking your call into conversations you were never invited to. You experience something off, do not you? That sudden pressure on your chest. That anxiety you can't explain. That peculiar urgency for your dreams. That isn't always imagination. That is your spirit detecting a non-secular inquiry. A person is calling you forth in secret. Their words are dipped in honey, however their coronary heart holds poison. They're now not asking about you due to the fact they leave out you. They are not curious due to the fact they admire your growth. Their inquiry is strategic. It is the kind of inquiry a snake makes before figuring out where to strike. The kind of inquiry a thief makes before robbing a home. They're circling. They are plotting. And you're standing in a spotlight you didn't activate. You have no idea how generally your name has a rise in rooms where you have been not welcome. But God knows. And now He's revealing it. You've got observed the signs and symptoms, have not you? An abnormal dream with a familiar face. An uneasy feeling when you open your phone. A surprising want to be more non-public. That is not random. That is non-secular caution. The only who is asking about you has a hidden schedule and their time is running out. They have been looking your development from a distance. They've seen your glow, your rising prefer, the advantage is falling on you, and something in them could not cope with it. At the start, it turned into quiet jealousy. Then it have become obsession. And now it's turned into religious manipulation. This man or woman once acted like they forgot about you. They as soon as walked away, made it seem like they moved on. However, the truth is, they in no way stopped watching. They have become a silent investigator of your lifestyles. Analyzing you. Analyzing into your posts. Asking mutual friends. Seeking to apprehend how you are still standing. Because they expected your fall. They have been certain your heartbreak, your trauma, your delays would spoil you. However, you didn't crumble, you rose. And that growing has disturbed them extra than you recognize. Do no longer underestimate the extent of interest you're receiving. You suspect you're shifting in silence, however within the spirit realm, your call is echoing. There are forces aligning to your elevation, however there are also non-secular watchers trying to look at your glow. They want to find a crack in your armor. They are hoping to discover a wound that hasn't healed. They are asking about you to peer if your heart is open to manipulation. In case your circle is easy to infiltrate, if your thoughts is still at risk of familiar spirits. You need to recognize this. Now not each inquiry is innocent. Now not every hobby is kind. Interest can be a weapon within the palms of the wrong soul. And this man or woman, they plan to reappear. A person is looking about you due to the fact they want to return. However, no longer to bless you. Not to honor what you've ended up. They plan to return on the way to see if you're still vulnerable in the places you as soon as had been. They plan to come back to check your discernment. To tempt your empathy. To drag you into an emotional typhoon, pretending it is a reunion of fate. But this is not destiny. This is a spiritual lure. And God is exposing it earlier than it starts evolved. Due to the fact this time, in case you fall for the identical allure, the identical story, the identical apology masked in manipulation, the outcomes can be heavier. Because you understand higher now. Because you prayed for imaginative and prescient. And now God is giving it to you, uncooked and without sugar. This individual's inquiry has already activated heavenly attention. Archangel Michael has been assigned to face between you and their hidden intentions. His sword is drawn. He has been intercepting dreams. He has been guarding your peace. You concept your prayers had been going unanswered, but in fact, they were triggering divine interference before your enemy's plan ought to even reach your doorstep. But there is something else. Something deeper. This person isn't always just all and sundry. This individual may be someone you once cherished. A person you once cried for. Someone you still have moments of yearning for. And that is why their inquiry is so dangerous, because it is wrapped in familiarity. As it seems like a 2D danger while it is absolutely a second lure. You have grown. You have got healed. You have got risen. But there is nonetheless a tinier part of your soul that remembers the good. And that is the element they're hoping to reach. That is what their inquiry is targeting. No longer your thoughts. Your memory. You should stay grounded. You should consider what you have come via. You must resist the urge to romanticize what almost destroyed you. God says this time, your readability is your weapon. Do not appearance away. Do no longer ignore the signs and symptoms. Their curiosity isn't harmless. It is dangerous. Because they plan to get admission to your lifestyles in a manner that makes you query your personal intuition. They need to make you sense responsible for putting obstacles. They plan to come softly, however their intentions are loud in the spirit. However, don't be afraid. Heaven isn't always showing you this to paralyze you. This message is your weapon. That is your protect. This is God setting holy hearth around your coronary heart earlier than the serpent slithers close. You'll hear from them. You will feel it before it takes place. There will be a shift for your ecosystem, an uneasiness, a feel that something is coming. Take note of that. It's your spiritual alarm. And whilst it comes, you should stand company. No opening antique doors. No interesting familiar devils. No negotiating with what God already eliminated. You have been let out, and freedom requires subject. You prayed to in no way move lower back. You begged for a signal if hazard became near. That is the sign. The inquiry has begun. Your call is in their mouth. And their plan is active. However, heaven is in advance of them. The angels are already placed. Your obstacles are being reinforced. Your discernment is being sharpened. You may experience remoted proper now, however God says that is now not rejection. It truly is divine protection. He is hiding you in simple sight. Protecting you even as you're being watched. Elevating you even as the enemy remains burdened. That confusion is your protection. You aren't alone. Your ancestors are looking. Your angels are operating extra time. Archangel Michael is circling your call with divine mild. And each attempt to pull you returned into darkness will fail. Not because you are perfect, however, due to the fact you're chosen. You have got future for your name. You have hearth for your feet. You have got a purpose that cannot be derailed by way of a person who could not honor you when they had get admission to. Let them ask. Let them accumulate. Let them plan. Nothing formed in opposition to you'll prosper. Their inquiry will change into exposure. Their interest will boomerang into conviction. Their plan may be shattered earlier than it touches you. All you have to do is stay alert. Stay grounded. Live in prayer. You are divinely covered. And this message, this is your scroll of affirmation. Heaven has already seen what they plan to do. And heaven has already written the finishing, you win. This message is for you, and it is not a coincidence that you are studying this at this very moment, at this very hour, on this very breath of existence. There's a weight within the air that cannot be explained, a pull in your spirit that calls you into something you cannot pretty name but feel deep within the chambers of your soul. The sector around you is moving speedy, so speedy which you slightly have time to ask why certain human beings have begun to appearance to your direction. Whisper your call in secret corners, seek your call in rooms where your presence has in no way walked. Someone is inquiring about you. And you do not even recognize that they're planning something with a view to shift everything. You have been shifting through life wondering that you are unseen, unnoticed, untouched by using the eyes that hint the realms of your future. But this message isn't just to alert you, it's far to prepare you. A person is tracing your call with gold. Someone is rising earlier than dawn asking approximately you, in search of solutions about who you are and what your presence means. They are seeking to reach you, but not in methods which might be obvious. They are collecting information, sifting through phrases you've spoken lengthy in the past, asking about your person, your spirit, your scars, your mild. And what they're planning isn't small. It's far something in an effort to require you to be equipped, heart, soul, and mind. You do not know the total story but you do not know what's coming, but heaven does. and that's why you are reading this now. Because something is being written approximately you in silence, and you must understand that no longer all movement happens in noise. The greatest adjustments appear in silence. Within the quiet, something is stirring in your behalf. A person is dreaming of you. Someone is weaving your name into their prayers. They may be preparing a place for you in their life, even earlier than they have got spoken a phrase to you. You concept no one noticed the manner you saved going regardless of being broken. You notion nobody saw the times you smiled at the same time as your soul cried in the back of the smile. But a person saw. A person watched in silence and took notes. And now they're asking about you. They need to recognize who you absolutely are. Not the version the sector has formed, but the version heaven has whispered approximately since the day you were born. They want to recognize why you appear to glow through the darkness. They want to realize what it's far about you that makes others experience secure even when they're trembling. They want to realize why your silence speaks louder than the voices in the room. They want to understand what you deliver. And they don't even understand they're approximately to emerge as a part of something a whole lot bigger than they imagined. And here's the thriller. They may be now not just asking about you due to the fact they may be curious. They're asking because they may be drawn to the divine in you. Attracted to the destiny wrapped on your DNA. Attracted to the hearth you have carried through storms you never even advised everybody approximately. You've got walked through fireplace and in preference to being ate up you became the flame. And now that fire is calling others in the direction of you. They sense it. Even from a distance. Even in silence. This message is for you, and also you should open your heart to get hold of it, not with worry, but with readiness. Because what's coming isn't always every day. Someone has seen the mild in you and their soul is starting to apprehend it as something they have been searching out, despite the fact that they do not apprehend why. They're asking people questions. Who's this person? What do you know approximately them? What do they trust? What makes them exclusive? You can no longer pay attention the conversations, but they're going on. In the back of your returned, beneath your radar, beyond your focus, someone is making plans, something in an effort to cross your course. In a manner that changes the rhythm of your lifestyles. And also you don't want to be afraid. You don't need to panic or retreat. What is supposed for you may locate you, even in silence, even via strangers, even via questions you didn't understand have been being asked. This isn't a twist of fate. It's far the orchestration of the divine. There's a reason I've shielded your eyes from seeing the whole thing too quickly. There is a cause I've stored you hidden in undeniable sight. There's a motive I allow the sector forget about you for a time. Because what I am bringing into your life isn't intended to be rushed. It is supposed to be discovered in its time. And now the clock is ticking and the questions are being asked and the names are being mentioned and the air is transferring and your name is echoing inside the hearts of those I have referred to as to raise you. You were no longer forgotten. You had been reserved. Set aside for something sacred. Covered for something pure. Guarded for something golden. The inquiries can also appear small now. Just whispers, simply passing mentions, just diffused curiosity. But in the back of those whispers is a wave that is coming. A wave of possibility. A wave of alignment. A wave of divine connection with a view to flood into your life and display you why you had to wait goodbye, why you needed to be affected person when it's harm, why you had to keep on while it felt such as you were protecting not anything in any respect. Due to the fact what's coming will feel sudden, but it has been building for a long term. A person is not simply asking about you. They're preparing to discover you. They are preparing to walk into your lifestyles in a manner so as to make the silence make feel. This message isn't approximately worry. It's approximately religion. Faith that what's attempting to find you'll not miss you. Faith that what has been drawn in your call will not bypass you through. Faith that what is supposed for you isn't always at the back of you. It is in advance. And it's coming closer with every breath. You don't need to chase. You don't have to beg. You don't must show yourself. Just live aligned. Live open. Live rooted in who you surely are. Due to the fact who you are is sufficient. Who you are is precisely what a person has been searching out. It might be love. It might be partnership. It is probably a cause that connects along with your very own. It might be a hazard you concept changed into long past. Anything it smiles, it is alive. And it's transferring. And it's asking about you. That is a message of education. The street ahead will ask you to accept as true within ways you by no means have earlier than. Because the person who is calling approximately you does not even know that what they're planning will result in something sacred. They don't even recognize which you're a part of a larger photo, that your presence in their existence turns into a turning point. So be gentle with yourself in this season. Rest inside the know-how that you are being placed. Every postpone has been divine. Every no was safety. Each closed door changed into a redirection. And now, the doors are beginning to move again. The wind is changing. The call that's being whispered is yours. They don't even apprehend why you're on their thoughts. They do not even absolutely realize why they keep circling returned in your call, your presence, your voice, your power. However, their soul is remembering something their thoughts hasn't stuck up with, but their coronary heart is spotting a bit of peace that most effective your presence can deliver. You must be sturdy on this season, now not strong in the manner the arena needs, however sturdy to your quiet obedience. Robust on your stillness. Sturdy on your belief. Because at the same time as you are resting, things are being rearranged. At the same time as you are healing, connections are being aligned. While you are praying in secret, solutions are growing in public. This individual, this soul, this seeker who has begun to invite about you isn't always doing it in vain. They may be unknowingly entering into a divine script that become written long earlier than both of you even knew your names. This isn't random. This isn't always pressured. This isn't a twist of fate. This is design. And even now, they're being organized too. You are not the handiest one going via transitions. You aren't the handiest one shedding vintage variations of yourself. You aren't the most effective one preventing for readability. They are growing. they are gaining knowledge of. They're stumbling their way into the truth. And part of that reality is you. This isn't approximately idolizing someone. This is approximately spotting that future often moves via people. That solutions come wrapped in human shape. That God frequently speaks via connection, through the trembling of one hand accomplishing for another. And someone's hand is stretching out for you, even now, even though it hasn't touched you but. Can you experience it? That invisible pull? That pain that announces something is coming, although not anything makes feel but. This is now not tension. This is alignment calling your name. It truly is your spirit recognizing the whispers going on in the back of closed doors. Someone has written your name of their magazine. A person has looked for your voice online. A person has reread your phrases in silence. A person has pointed out you in rooms where your toes have never stepped. A person is searching out the which means of your presence. You don't ought to do anything to earn it. You don't have to grow to be a person else. Simply be who you are, sincere, developing, mistaken, radiant, real. Because it is your truth that they may be being drawn to. Now not perfection. Now not overall performance. Just reality. They may be now not coming to complete you. They're coming to connect with you. There's a distinction. This isn't always about lack. This is about multiplication. That is approximately those who are whole in themselves, being introduced together to make bigger something sacred. And it starts evolved with a question. Who's that? What do you recognize about them? Why do I keep considering this character? They will ask the one's questions casually, however heaven is watching. And heaven is answering. One door at a time. One nudge at a time. One whisper at a time. And also you, in your aspect, must live grounded. This isn't always the time to doubt who you are. That is the time to root yourself deeper into your identification. This is the time to permit parts of the entirety that has been falsely connected to you, disgrace, worry, evaluation, rejection. None of those are your call. You aren't described by way of what you've been through. You are recognized by using the mileage you carried through it. And that's what they see, although they don't fully recognize it, but they may be being attracted to the fragrance of someone who has suffered and nevertheless located a way to love. A person who has misplaced and nonetheless learned how to supply. Someone who has been abandoned and nonetheless selected to stay tender. It's why you stand out. It is why they may be asking approximately you. Because they're now not attempting to find surface anymore. They may be now not chasing illusions. They're uninterested in the noise. They want depth. They want warm temperature. They want truth. And their spirit senses it in you, even from a ways away. Don't be surprised while antique doors close on this season. Don't be amazed whilst folks who once knew you not match. That isn't always rejection. That is training. Heaven is making space for what's coming. And it's going to are available a way that startles you. It can no longer look like what you prayed for. However, it'll sense like what your soul longed for whilst it had no phrases. So breathe. Accept as true with. Allow pass. Stay geared up. Stay open. Due to the fact soon the questions will become a communique. And the communique turns into a connection. And the connection turns into a divine appointment.